So if you right now are not getting leads from your content, if you right now are not getting the engagement that you want with your content, I want you to use these two tactics. One, start to see your content as candy versus meal. How can you bring in more candy content if you're trying to get excitement and people in your community? How can you sell a little less, but know that by coupling the two of them together will absolutely build a larger community for you? And also too, how can you bring in more leads using an SEO series? These things can be so supportive, especially when it comes to what am I going to post about? Having something that you know that you're going to keep nurturing. So you're going to keep building the SEO series over time, or you're going to keep thinking about, okay, I've been posting a lot of candy content. I'm ready for this launch. Is going to allow the content creation process to get a lot easier. Being limitless is knowing your success and your growth are built on a radical belief in yourself. Limitless is honoring your purpose, your health, and impact above all else. Limitless is never playing small, because the more alive you feel in your life, the more growth and success you attract. Hi, my name is Jamie Ratermann, and I am a holistic business coach, meaning I am just as invested in growing your health as I am in growing your wealth. With 11 plus years in brand and social media marketing, I help rebellious entrepreneurs master marketing, embody leadership, and say fuck it to the hustle. This show is here to encourage you to become more radically aware of your self-imposed limits, to break free of your shoulds, and to expand your brand into a movement led by you. Hello, lovelies. Welcome to another episode of the Limitless Podcast. I can't wait to dive in today, but I wanted to share something about what I love, and it's part of staying hydrated this summer, is that I was starting to record and my podcast editor was like, "Are you drinking a martini?" And I'm like, "I'm not." This is straight up water. For anyone who's watching the video on YouTube, I'm sharing it here. But the idea of like, I can never get to my water goals, and sometimes it's just easier to drink it from a pretty glass. So starting this episode with a tip, put your water in pretty glasses, and it helps you actually drink them. Anyway, this episode is going to be all about content creation. So if you have listened to the episode talking about content pillars, ideal clients, building your content, or building your brand story, this episode is taking it up a notch. We set a basic foundation for you. We want to think about how we get to build into those content pillars. So this is one thing that happens, is many people believe that content pillars are all that's necessary to build a community and leads. But in reality, that is what I just said, that foundation. This is where we begin. So once you know what you're about, who you're trying to serve, what kind of categories you want to be known for, this is where you go, okay, how can I build content within them that's going to bring me in leads? It's going to grow my community. So not all content is built the same. I'm going to say it again. Not all content is built the same. There is this pervasive thought out there that if you post, you get clients. And it's not exactly true. Now, if you do post, you are getting visible, you are going to be remembered. In general, the more that you can post, the better it's going to be. It's beautiful in that way. But that is serving one piece. You're getting visible. People will know you, your face, your brand. That's a good place to start. Creating a habit of getting to know you. The second piece is being able to know that there is a difference between someone who has a lot of followers, but very little clients, and a brand who has lots of clients, no matter where their follower account is on their account. So this means the ones that are bringing in clients through their content, they have a content strategy that works. So if this is where we put the measurement, that guidepost. If right now you are posting all the time and nothing is coming from those posts, like as in no one's DMing you, you're not getting link clicks, you're in general, people do not know about your business, or you're not having those interactions, it's a good point to take a look at, is my content serving what I want it to do? One piece of content is going to be something that gets a whole bunch of comments and a lot of engagement. Another one might be something where people are going to go click into your posts. Marketing or promoting your business in general is about encouraging emotion and meaningful moments for your potential clients. Now, this might be that they feel activated and educated by something that you shared. They feel that they can relate to you or entertained in some way within that process. or they're inspired by where they want to go next. If you aren't hitting these key areas, you're wanting to think about what type of reaction you'd like your content to give. So creating a posting schedule around inspiration, education, and being relatable or entertaining is going to be a long-term community strategy, which is fantastic. But one post, like I said, can get a really high engagement with a group of followers, and another post may get lower engagement but more clicks to your products or sales. So I like to call this a candy versus meal content. So being able to know that whenever you are creating content, there is going to be one post that is going to draw in a lot of reach for you, but it may not draw in a lot of leads, versus another post is going to be something that you are getting a whole bunch of sales on, but it has pretty low reach. So playing into this, we're going to be able to consider what these two things are. So let's go with this analogy. Let's continue here. We all love candy, don't we? I am a Twix girl. I love me some Twix. I like a good gummy bear from time to time. But in general, if I like thinking about how candy content looks in your feed, that might be like a funny meme that you get to relate to. A photo dump from a recent trip that you can't wait to celebrate someone getting out and enjoying themselves, or even an easy activating educational reel with a trending audio. These are all going to get high reach, easy to higher engagement, just because they are candy. They are easy. There's like in general, you want to just engage with something that is easy to relate to. So we all want some candy in our feed. We want there to be easy ways to engage with each other. But if you're looking to build a bigger audience, this is the type of content you want to spend most of your time with. You want to make sure that people see you, know you, and in general, you are creating content that they don't have to be heavily invested in to understand. So in general, you want to give some crowd pleasers often to generate community engagement in your posts. But these do not normally turn into sales. They're those quick jolts of sugar, those quick jolts of excitement and double tapping in your feed, but don't exactly sustain long-term trust or trust with their money. So being able to know that if we bring in some candy content, we also want to bring in some meals. Meals are sales-driven posts or longer storytelling posts. So not everyone is going to watch that 3-minute video or go through your 10-slide carousel. They're not. But the audience who's been loving your candy content will absolutely, some of them are going to come in and want to get a full picture of you. So this is something that comes up a lot with clients, where someone will say, no one watches my live replays. And I go, so the idea here is that the candy content is creating a really great community that people get to hang out in. They feel welcome. They're a part of it. Where the meal content, yeah, not everyone's going to watch your 30-minute live, but there's going to be a few people that watch 15 minutes of it. There's going to be people who are really interested in what you do that are going to spend longer time with it. So what you're essentially doing is warming somebody up with some candy content so that they can come in, and you know that a percentage of them are going to stick around for that meal. They're going to want the full meal of you. So being able to push a direct sale on your post or tell a deeper story, it's likely you're going to get a little less engagement and reach on those, just because they're not as easy to digest as, a gummy bear. But by asking somebody to take a little more time with it, you're going to notice the people who do engage, or the people who do spend time with you, are highly loyal, like in general, likely to be clients for you in the future, and you're going to be able to sell to. So one of the best examples I think of this is that during my corporate days, we would do this stuff all the time, where I would ask our when I was working for a travel brand, I would talk to them about their content they were creating, and they wanted to always do these like one day in Morocco, what to do. And the idea of this is that Morocco just really wasn't a crowd pleaser, for the fact that it wasn't a highly desired destination. Some people really wanted to go, but if we wanted to get traffic, and we wanted to get people to see the hotels that were in Morocco for that day, in general, we needed to create a list of wanderlust, crowd pleasing imagery and recommendations. So we would couple a piece of content around the top 5 locations you need to check out this summer. That type of content would get a lot of eyes. People would see the photos. They'd want to know what was popular and what was trending. And then of course, if it made sense in that kind of content, we would put Morocco in there, right? This is just, of course, me giving an example. So within that, we would create content that related to that five places you must be, that people could see Morocco hotels, people could see the one day itinerary of when you were there, for the fact that I knew that if I posted just the kind of content that was the one day in Morocco, I'm not going to get a ton of reach. I'm going to still post it, but because it followed a candy piece, a crowd pleasing type of post, they were going to get more reach that way. So this is exactly how you want to play this into your own business as a brand, as a creator. How can you think of what's going to be a crowd pleaser and how that's going to get get everyone excited, so that whenever you do come in with a more niched, more specific type of piece of content, or even sales or a longer post, then people are going to actually stick around and spend some time. Okay, so playing into this, candy content can be your 15-second videos, and then your meal content can be the 1 minute, 15-minute live, being able to play with a little bit of both. Candy content can be a meme or just a funny voiceover, where meal content can be a longer story, a longer caption type of post. So again, playing with how these can be coupled together, this is where you begin of understanding, okay, I know my pillars. So under this pillar, I can do these 3 types of candy content, and then I'll follow this with my meal content. Depending on your goals, you're going to decide how much candy content you do a week and how much meal content. Candy content, like I said, will build followers, will build trust. But as far as investment, ready to buy from you, that's going to be those sales driven posts, those storytelling posts. So you get to decide where those land. So this is just one example, and we get so deep into this in Marketing Mastery that I wanted to share with you. But this is just that beginning piece of, okay, how can I start to look at my content a little bit differently? Ultimately, the way in which you post under your content pillars is going to either instill like an uninvested likes, uninvested comments, or a highly invested community of potential clients. So considering that this is what you want to do with your content, you can ask yourself a very easy question here. What do I hope the reaction to this content is? So if you're posting something and you go, okay, the goal of this post is going to be comments, likes. I want to see who's excited in my community. The goal of this post is to get someone warmed up for an upcoming launch. The goal of this post is to sell directly about this upcoming product. So having that like last question of like, what is my ultimate goal of making this post today, is going to make a difference for you. Please note though, that you don't want to only do candy content. You don't want to only do meal content. They are something that needs to work together. We all would love to have an entire diet of candy, but we're going to feel a little sick after a while. So being able to think about, okay, how can candy be this appetizer for what's coming next? Keeping this in mind, how can we generate this trust, a growing community, and a proven lead generating content strategy on platforms? So today I'm going to share with you one of the tactics I give to my Marketing Mastery clients, just to understand how you can make sure you are instilling new faces, new leads into your business. So I'm going to introduce you to the SEO series. So SEO series is something, especially now, that is really supportive for anyone who's building their businesses online, to play to the algorithms, play to what's going on. So the SEO series is a multi-part piece of content, meaning you're posting across a number of days, number of months on a specific topic that is specific to what your ideal client is searching for. So you are choosing the words you say, the title of this series, the type of things you're sharing, by what someone is going to likely drop in and type into their search bars. That is the antithesis of this. You want to make sure you're focusing there. So this can be a series where you call out from the beginning, hey, it's going to be a 5-part series. This can also be a way where like, oh, I'm going to continue sharing more about this on my next post. So the idea being that you want to instill that you are an account, or you are a brand, that if someone is interested in self-love, someone's interested in personal brand building, recipes for summer, in general, that you are the kind of account that someone wants to stick around with. Series do a number of things, but most importantly, they establish your brand, you as an expert in a very specific arena that they are looking for support in. But by also having it be a series, you are bringing in anticipation. So people are anticipating that there's more content coming. So if they liked that post, they are going to be more likely to follow you, so that they can make sure they see the other posts. So playing into those two strengths, one, you're building trust. One, it's going to allow someone to decide they want to follow along with you. This is where lead generating content can begin. So understanding that TikTok, YouTube, Instagram's algorithms, they all take a big account into how SEO helps them, and it's on and off the platform. If for any reason you didn't know this, your social posts are now going to be seen as Google results. That's a big advancement in the past 2 years. Thank you, Google. So knowing that if you decide to do an SEO series, it's not just about how people engage with it today. It's about how people are going to search and find it over the lifespan of whatever is popular around that topic. So knowing that, yes, you will get the immediate reach, the immediate feed post, like what's going to happen with the algorithm as you post it, but also too, if someone tries to find it later, you're going to be recommended on Instagram search bar, on TikTok search bar. You also can be recommended under Google. So this is why this can be such an important, especially now, and a strategy for you. 3 things to keep in mind if you decide to jump in and do an SEO series is that you want to keep it simple. Keep it as simple as possible. The beauty of a series is that each video or each carousel post or whatever method you decide to do is that you want to have one specific takeaway. So if you go complex, you're going to lose people. They're not going to want to keep watching. I usually like to recommend that my clients try to keep these videos in a 45-second range if they're doing a video, or to allow the carousels to feel easy to get through. So it's not like this really dense graphic of a ton of type. So playing with a little bit of both of these, how can you make it as simple as possible? I give a whole storytelling and specific breakdown in Marketing Mastery, but starting there, keep it as simple as possible. Link each post together. So being able to know that you can use a comment on your first TikTok and then create a video linking it to the next one until you have enough followers to get the playlists. That could be one part of it. You want to acknowledge, whether in the video script or in the graphic or on the caption, that this is part 1, this is part 2, so people know that there are numerous parts to it, so that you can get that anticipatory reaction, like, okay, I saw part 1, let me find part 2, or when's the next one coming out? Like that can be its own way that people can engage with you, but you want to acknowledge it in some way. So one thing to know is that because these have become a little bit popular, they were pretty popular over on TikTok, you don't always have to do this, like, this is part 1 of this big series. You could be like, you could literally just put it as something on in video text on your video. It can be the first part of your caption, so you don't always have to feel like you have to stick that in the middle of your video content or your video script specifically. The last piece is that by definition, at this SEO series, the reaction we're hoping to get is new follows, new leads. So encourage engagement more than you push a sale, especially like knowing that we are wanting to see if we can generate more new faces in our community. You want to prompt them with questions. You want to ask them to engage, save, share, instead of pushing a sale right from the get-go. So playing to this, have that CTA be about building audience and building some commentary. So getting started here, let me give you some examples. So let's say you are a chef, you can do a summer salad series where you make a new type of salad each week with the summer's best fruits and vegetables. You can start there. You could also do a building a personal brand series. So you can talk about how to choose your brand colors, what type of content comes with it, the mindset of a creator for a personal brand. So playing with that is going to be is something that you can build into a series, knowing that that's going to be something somebody searches for. So again, bringing back to that core, how are these topics that people are going to search for, your ideal client specifically? Another one could be how to upgrade your video qualities, where you show one small piece of how to upgrade your quality using an iPhone, and knowing that you probably have 7 things you can share, but doing one piece at a time, one tip, knowing that someone's going to digest that a piece at a time and actually get to use it. Let's say you are somebody who's traveling a lot. You could talk about things to do in the summer in LA, where you share one event that you've gone to in each step of the way. All of this is how you start to build an SEO series. Now, something that people decide to do is that they'll say, oh, I want to do a 10-part series. I'm going to do it every single day until it's done. You do not have to do that. That's a high pressure situation. It's just understand that that's a choice. If you decide to do it 10 straight days, you can also do it once a week or twice a week and have it be a long-standing series. So you get to decide how you drop this, but know that the core of this is SEO. How can people search and find you? I'll drop in the show notes my SEO masterclass. So if you've never looked into the keywords or how you want people to remember you or how you want people to find you, I will go ahead and drop my masterclass into the show notes so that you can jump in and understand how to do this. It includes a workbook. It's a pretty damn great masterclass. One of my favorites that I've done. But this is where we come here. So if you right now are not getting leads from your content, if you right now are not getting the engagement that you want with your content, I want you to use these 2 tactics. 1, start to see your content as candy versus meal. How can you bring in more candy content? If you're trying to get excitement and people in your community, how can you sell a little less, but know that by coupling the 2 of them together will absolutely build a larger community for you? And also 2, how can you bring in more leads using an SEO series? These things can be so supportive, especially when it comes to what am I going to post about? Having something that you know that you're going to keep nurturing. So you're going to keep building the SEO series over time, or you're going to keep thinking about, okay, I've been posting a lot of candy content, I'm ready for this launch, is going to allow the content creation process to get a lot easier. If you appreciated this type of podcast today, let me know if you want more of them. I would love to hear what you love about Limitless. So feel free to leave me a review on Apple Podcasts. I would tell me what you love most about it. Even tell me what you would love more of. That would be so supportive to me. The more that you leave reviews on Apple, on Spotify, the more people get to hear what I'm sharing, and it would be an absolute gift if you could give that to me. So let me know if you've left a review. I will absolutely be acknowledging them in these episodes in my social, because I love to see the people I'm supporting. Until next time, live a little more limitless.